Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Sparza, coming to you live right now at 5:38 Best Coast time. We are ready for some UFC on ESPN action. Sorry we're running a little late. Had to run some errands. Have to live a little bit of life, but I think you can understand that. I had a telecast earlier this morning. What we're going to do right now is we are watching on ESPN Plus. However, I know some of you may not be off work. Don't worry, we've got you covered. We're also going to go live on Instagram for a little bit, but you know how things go. First, we want to start off by saying go to Nogi BJJ Gear, and if you use the promotional code GrapplingHour15, take 15% off of whatever you put in your cart. And I feel like that's a pretty good thing, all considering all of us are gaining weight. In particular, go check out a rash guard that says Corona Weight Champ. I'm not saying I would wear it, but I would. Here's what I got going on over on this side. We're going live in 3, 2, 1 over on Instagram. You guys, what I need from you is comments, concerns, hints, allegations, all of the good stuff. Very stoked that you guys are going to be watching over here on Instagram. Hello, my name is Rafa Sparza, but you already know that. What's up, Tardos? And then over here on YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, and Facebook. So we've got a lot of things. What is this? Pennington Chris. That sounds like a wrestling name. What's up, Babalu? Good to see you guys. The way that we do this, we always do fight companions. We give cheers to those people who end up getting submission finishes or knockout finishes within regulation. So feel free. I like this. Sean McCleary, you're already liking this. So I should remind people on Facebook, if you give us a like and a share, we give you a toast to say cheers to you. It's just like the folks who get submission finishes or knockout finishes. What's up, Worst Guys Pod? Good to see you. Yeah, that's basically how we work and operate over right this way. We just saw a pretty one-sided beating. Jesus, it was rough, my friends. You know what it's like to walk into the house, see what's going on, and then see essentially a dude stuck in turtle? That was pretty rough. So not only is it pretty rough, but then let's talk a little bit about Jared Gordon's life. I'm going to start this telecast with the toast to Jared Gordon. What's up, Jeremy Romero? This toast goes to you, Jared. Listen, dude, I didn't know your full story. I knew that your corner tested positive for COVID. Very unfortunate about your family situation, but you went out there, you dominated, and you made the most out of a situation that I hope continued health to you and your family, man. You didn't get a finish within regulations, but you deserve a toast. So from all of us here at the Grappling Hour, we say cheers to you, sir. And that's how it works. You share the program on Facebook, we give you one of these toasts. That's how easy this is. But what I got for you guys is anybody who talks to us in the comment section, we do our best to integrate those comments into this. Vernon Kirk, for example, is saying that Kevin is a punk. Now, that is technically true, but Kevin is not here at the moment. He could show up tonight. I don't know. So we're going to keep a lookout for everybody. We're going to have at least one guest, maybe not a couple more, but I will take your questions until we got this next fight. What's up, One Roma's PR? Good to see you. We have so many friends who are going to be returning throughout the evening, and I always love catching up with you guys. Jiu-Jitsu Goth makes me feel like with a screen name like that, you guys only roll to the Smiths. That's my guess on that one. I see over here, I am the Valley. How are you doing? Love that. Feeling it. Jordan Jitsu over on this side. I should probably put up this. It says Gordon with the complete dominance in the final round. Looked great. Absolutely, dude. That dude is beastly, especially all things that he had to overcome. I was very pleased with that kid. So again, like I said, I just didn't know his full story until that's and metal. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of metalheads that I get to roll with on a regular occasion, so I totally understand that, my friend. What is the best song to roll to? I'm going to go ahead and ask you this. Good, man. I'm looking forward to the Mason Fowler interview. I think you're going to love it, dude. Mason, you know it's good when Craig Jones hits me up and goes, "Hey, mate, what'd he say about me?" And I was like, well, go listen to it yourself, dummy. Stupid Craig Jones. But yes, they had a fantastic match. Good for them, dude. Very pleased. I'm going to go ahead and make a couple little notes here, but it does look like we are ready to go ahead and continue on some action. So before we go any further, I'm just going to remind you guys, so much love, so much appreciation. We've got Modestas Bakatsuas versus Andreas Miridichlorians is the best I can say that. Homeboy Modestas got a 6'3" advantage to just 6 feet tall for other dude. Mason Fowler already got ahead of the hate with the rematch request. Absolutely. Mason Fowler, I mean, dude, if you know him, you know that he's a game competitor, and they already have signed up on, I believe it is August 30th, for Submission Underground 17. Jesus Christ, we're just going through all of these. I feel like we had 9 Submission Undergrounds in the past 2 months. But yes, very pleased with him. He's a reputable young man, and you can tell that's what gets him out to the ADCC and why he's a beast. So very pleased to see that one come together. And as you guys know, that interview, Kevin and I, we bust his balls a little bit, and I thought it was a pretty good interview. I mean, I'm in it, so it's hard for me to be super neutral. But, I mean, at this point, I kind of know when it's a good interview. I'm going to put up a little quick note here to our friends, let them know that we're doing some streaming this evening. Again, keep the comments coming, and I'm going to go walk you through some of the play-by-play. But more importantly, I want to take some of your questions. What's up, Heather? Good to see you. Glad you're able to join the telecast this evening. Doing some fight companionry this evening. Join us if you feel up for it. Boom, we start 4:57 on my clock right now. Both the gentlemen start with an exchange, a little bit of kicks to begin the action over here at UFC Fight Island, which really is not an island, unless you call it Yas Queen Island. Anyway, the two gentlemen exchange kicks. You see over here, Bukakis with the green. I'm going to try not to say Bukaki, but, you know, is what it is. It's very difficult when they have silly names for me not to keep a straight face about it. Two gentlemen over here. I don't know a ton about either of these gents, so I'm going to be walking myself through a little bit of forthcoming knowledge as we go through and watch it all together. So far, good feel-out process. You see over by one, Michaelitis, who comes in with a right overhand and responded by Bukakis, who comes in very, very strong thus far in. It was very interesting in that last fight with Gordon. He had a corner in one Paul Felder when his whole corner tested positive for COVID. I thought it was really exceptionally great that you had Paul Felder offering to step up at very last minute to make sure a man had a corner on a very big night for him. I like to say I would love to see Jimenez versus Jones on a future Submission Underground. I would too. I'm a little cautious about that. I think it actually worked out in the best for Mason to get the call. Obviously, he won, so it makes it less. The one thing that concerns me about Roberto Jimenez at this particular juncture is Craig's leg locks are very good, and I've seen Roberto struggle a little bit with his leg locks. I know he's still a young kid, and he's very sharp in a number of areas for jiu-jitsu, but going into Craig's wheelhouse, it would be very difficult to entice Craig to take top and to set up that very, very wonderful triangle that Roberto has. So that's just my opinion. Y'all can tell me differently. I totally understand if you sincerely believe in your heart something completely different. So thus far in, we've already had a few nods from some folks over on the likes. I'm going to give a quick little one of these, not a full toast, to the people who have given us hearts. So to you, Sean, Jordan Jitsu, and Vernon Kirk, thank you guys very much. If you share, you get the full toast. But for right now, I haven't seen a share. So go. That one's just for me. I hope that answers your question. I hope you kind of are in the same place I am on that one. If not, I mean, you're wrong, but I mean, it's cool. Anyway, I mean, here's the good news. I think we all won on this one. I think Craig Jones, Mason Fowler 3 is going to be fantastic. Animation for you. What's up, man? What's up to you? I love the name. And that little icon you got is badass, dude. Great design work. Wish I could draw. Back at the action, it's been a little quiet between these two. They're exchanging, nothing too significant happening. 143 left to go. Both of these gents, I mean, still seeming pretty spry. Bukauskas is very, very apt, trying to create a little bit of disorienting action. Oh, gets clipped a little bit. Good exchange as he rushes in, keeps his hands down a little bit, gets caught by Michailidis in between that section over there. Very intriguing to see how this one's going thus far in. So, as you guys, like I said, keep a lookout throughout the evening. Let me know what you guys are thinking, feeling in your heart, all of that good stuff, because we implement your comments into the broadcast this evening. Are you guys watching? Are you just listening to me? Ooh, I love this. Bukauskas rushing up a little bit forward, creating a little bit of pressure for Michailidis, and in the process, Michailidis takes a big shot to the chin. The both of them now return back to the center. And you're seeing one thing about Michailidis. He gives up a little bit of balance, but in exchanging, goes with a very aggressive overhand right. Falls back, nothing too crazy on that side. So, thus far in, very pleased on the action. It's a little quiet. Listen to this. First real cheers from one of our fans. The one, the only. Let me do this real quick. Megan Johnson. They broke the mold when they made you. We're all living in your world. We're lucky to be your friends. We're lucky to be what you are watching right now. This cheers goes out to you. Cheers. Worst Guys Pod saying Michailidis with the Gabe overhand special. Absolutely. Woo. That's the best part about knowing somebody like a Gabe. Man, I wish my striking was as good as Gabe's. Cheers, Megan. Always good stuff. Oh, my goodness. Very pleased with you guys thus far in. Getting some good comments, getting some good love throughout the evening. We're going to be spreading a little bit of notes throughout, adding a few notes from friends that we're getting on the inside. So I'm going to be doing my best to keep eyes and ears everywhere. They're also announcing right now, August 15th is going to be the highly anticipated Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic. Number Trace. What's up, George Strunk? Is that George's Strunk or George's trunk? It's hard to really figure that out on the fly, but I'm doing my best. I think that card looks okay. I'm very much looking forward to bringing an installment of Over Under Kevin on that one. Ooh. Oh, no. They're going to go ahead and replay a little bit. Oh, it's the elbows that started taking him down. This dude is not feeling great. He almost starts to collapse. Starts holding his head, looks at the ref. So this is all replay action that they're showing us that happened in between the rounds. Yep. And as he gets up, slips, looks up at the ref like, hey, man, I was doing okay here. Oh, when he was trying to crawl a little bit out, it looked like he had like a drunk crawl out of it. But in actuality, I think he just kind of had an unfortunate loss of balance as he was just trying to like find his way and then fell out of the octagon. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that one. I kind of get it. Here's the good news. The ref's call on this one seems a little bit more justified in the sense that this dude still looks a little rough on the stool. That one's tough. I don't know if we're supposed to give cheers to that one because it's so shitty in terms of the situation, but I guess rules are rules. So what we'll do is we'll wait a second. Ooh, elbows to the side. I don't want that in my life. That just looks like it hurts. Like, this is why I enjoy grappling. I don't want people elbowing me in the head. As it is, if it's going for a single or going for a double at any time, I'm just worried about my freaking neck. I mean, the difficult part is that dude is definitely holding his head, and it looks like a giant lump on his head. So I do feel bad for the kid. I'm not sure that that's exactly the way he thought this was going to go down, but lo and behold, we do have a stoppage in between the rounds. Oof. So you got the Arctic Gladiator getting the bid, and that's going to be Bukakis. Yo, Worst Guys Pod, send me one of your episodes. I want to listen to it. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm doing my best to try and keep on things. If you guys send it to me in my DMs, I will make sure to give you guys a listen. But I'm very pleased to see the work that you guys are doing thus far in. All right, let's do this. Cheers. Or you know what? Let's wait for this dude to talk, because I want to hear his interpretation of what exactly went through. And I think that'll dictate at least portions of what the cheers is supposed to sound like. What else do I got for you guys? Hey, what's up, people on Facebook? Y'all are beasts, savages, friends, countrymen. Love y'all. Called the fight because the door was open. Great finish, great refereeing. I mean, he does look kind of out of it. It's just, you don't feel good about it. I mean, to be fair, if this was pro wrestling, if you fall out of the cage in a cage match, you win. So I guess by default, he ends up winning. All right, here's the interview. I'll go ahead and give you a synopsis of what is being said. Oh, it's just, it looks like he's drunk. That's the worst part of this whole thing. You got John Anik still looking like Stanley Tucci's stunt double right now. Bukakis is saying it's been a long time coming. He's definitely very excited to be there. He says the shots were clean. And he says he's just going to keep building off of this performance and keep going to bigger and better things. Makes sense. John Anik is asking, is this the kind of fight that you're expecting from your opponent? He says he had a lot of respect for this guy. He's a very good fighter. Now he's talking about betting odds, which always makes me feel a little bit bad. If you're a fighter, don't look at the betting odds on yourself. Just really cut it short. Don't do that to yourself. It's really just a mean thing to do. You're going to find out what people really don't like you. So just to remind you guys how this whole little function works, what we do is we do the prelims over on our YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter pages. And then once the prelims are done, we go to a main telecast. So this is going to walk us through all the way prelims. On Instagram, once we do have a guest, we will likely be going just primarily to that. Should anything change, we like to come on here, chat with you guys. So do us a solid. Keep up with us throughout the evening. He's talking about he wants to keep getting better, keep getting stronger. Power to him. All right. Very nice. Everybody's cheersing each other. All right. I should do the official cheers to this kid. All right. How do I got to get it out of my system so I don't say anything mean about him with the whole, I like TKO via elbows is the official word on Wikipedia. All right. This one goes out to you, Modestus Bukakis. Hey, man. Good fight. Very, very solid elbows. Don't let them anywhere near my face. If you could do me a solid, actually put those elbows on some sort of registry. They look like actual lethal weapons. But we say to you, man, really good stuff out there. You put an end to that fight when most people didn't think you could. But we here cheers that effort. Cheers to you, sir. All right. If you guys are drinking, I hope you are. Otherwise, it makes me look like an alcoholic. It's just being like at a AA meeting, being like, hey, Raph, how is the drinking going with you? I drink by myself, but I air it on the internet. So it's not drinking alone. So I don't have a problem. You have a problem. And then just bounce out of there. I think that's the only way to do it. What's up, Gabe? Gabe Iacovino. Well, dude, where's our share, Gabe? You're already 2 minutes into this and you haven't given us something. Boo. Talk about having better cheers. How about you have a better appreciation of what we do? Give us a share, sir. Let's talk about some fights that happened over the weekend, though. I'm still hyped. I have to go back and watch Volkanovski and Max Holloway because I want to see if that thing was as ridiculous as it was advertised. Because I watched it live, direct, and I still scored it for Holloway. But I promised our fans and our friends that I would go back and rewatch it. I just haven't had the opportunity yet. Gabe, I see you have a like. I haven't seen a share yet. You know the deal. I don't have to tell you how this works. Got a note from one of our friends. They'll be showing up in a little bit. So for those of you watching on Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook, you will see him. You probably won't see him here on Instagram, but you can go watch on those channels, and it looks like a little bit more of a professional telecast. I just hate the fact that Instagram doesn't play nice. If you guys could see the great work I got a little fucking banner on there. The banner makes this thing professional. It's not my fault. I do what I do. Give my best. I'm also very pleased. Gary Tonin is cornering Ryan in the co-main event on this telecast, and he was very sweet to hit us up and give us a detailed account of all of the backstage elements from one Fight Island. So I was very pleased to hear from him, hear a little bit of the details behind it. And, all things considered, very sweet of him. We got another share on the Facebook, which I think you know what that means. Check this out over here. Dane Donovan, you savage. You beast. You motherfucker, you. Look at you. You're like Eddie Murphy in the 80s. That's how good you are right now. I can't tell if you're delirious or raw. But you know what? Right now, I'm going to say you're one raw motherfucker. Cheers to you. One Ramos PR. Going to go on Facebook to see you in a bit. Yes. Love that. Love it. Love it. Keep it going. Done so. Okay. So now you're giving me notes. Okay. Gabe, I'll give you this, man. Gabe, this cheers goes out to you, my friend. Listen, forget what I said. We love you here. You know that. You know you make this show. You know that you are 10% of what makes this show great each and every time we do one of them. Cheers to you, sir. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Having already all of these cheers, which means delicious beer goes into stomach, which means great decisions are being made. I'm very excited. We're going to talk a little bit about our next match, which is going to be Ricardo Ramos versus Rhone Murphy. I should have done a line read on that one before we started this thing. That was a terrible line read. It's very funny that sometimes my Ron Burgundy style literally reads the things and goes, I am Ron Burgundy. Anyway. All right. So that's what's coming up next. As we go ahead and progress over to the next fight, I want to ask you guys, how did you score Volkanovski and Holloway? Be honest. I won't insult you too much. Like, I won't say something as crazy as LeBron is the GOAT with no factual ability to pull that off, unlike some podcasts or hosts who would just put that sort of thing out there. I wouldn't do that. I'm a responsible host. That's what I do. I bring you responsible coverage. Let me see this. Andrew Padilla giving us some love. Thank you. Angel Otero, thank you very much for your share. I love this. This is so good. You guys are keeping us nice, excited, happy. I want to go ahead and make sure that I am checking this out. Andrew Padilla, loving it. You guys are amazing. I also have to share this myself. But I've also been charging my phone because I'm a genius. These things go by very quickly. I love that. We got a nice thank you from Submissions on the Shore from Angel Otero. You're going to get a cheers in a second. You don't go anywhere, you son of a bitch. We're going to give you a nice cheers. Don't you even sit anywhere else. It's coming. We did a fantastic interview with a young talent out from East. Her name is Fatima Klein. This young woman is going to go far. She won one of the nights of the Submissions on the Shore female grappling card event. She is phenomenal. She has her shit together. She's just turned 20, and she's savage level jiu-jitsu. Also starting to fight in MMA. So very, very excited that we got the opportunity to speak with her. If you get the chance, watch that a little bit later. I have a lot of appreciation for who she is and what she's doing. So give you some heads up on that one. All right, we got a cheers that we got to do. This one goes out to Angel Otero, or Angel Otero. To you, sir. Listen, I don't know if there's any such thing as a certainty in this life, but if there's one certainty I know, it's that you, sir, you're a beast. You look at us, we get afraid of you. Like right now, if I was looking at you in the eyes, I'd be like, damn, dude, I got to stare down. I can't look at you in the face. Cheers to you, sir. This one goes out. Thank you very much for sharing our show. It keeps us very happy and keeps this beast rolling. Love you guys. Angel. Do you prefer Angel or Angel? Because the brown version of me feels like I'm just supposed to call you Angel. Come here, Angel. But the other side of me says I don't think he likes being called anybody. Angel. Just making sure that we cover our bases. What's up, Majid Mizuvov? I don't know what that is. JB11 or 1-1. I like, come on. Hey, bro, I sold that pretty good. I think you have to admit that, my friend. Loving you guys. If you're just joining us, take a seat. We're having a good time watching the UFC this evening. Give us some hearts on here. And if you're watching on this, give us a like and a share. You get cheers just like these guys are doing right there. You say you get called both? I believe that, sir. Listen, when you got a brown family, it comes with the territory. In my family, they'll be like, Rafaelito, come here. When I go to my jiu-jitsu classes, it's Hafa. I've literally told people at this point, I respond to anything with an up inflection. Just as long as they're generally being nice to me. So I get it. But I've definitely gone into places where people go, Hafa. My instructor, that's all he ever calls me. So imagine doing jiu-jitsu and hearing, Hafa, do something. I'm like, I'm trying, dick. So pushing Josh to the side and making me co-host. I'd rather you be a co-host, Gabe, if I'm being so honest. You have a lot more insight than Josh has ever had. Josh is out there trying to pull some Dwight moves from The Office and tell people he's the assistant to the regional manager, as if that's some sort of job title. But the other part is, Gabe, if I'm being honest, I feel like I'm doing charity work whenever I talk to Josh. Like, you're not supposed to make fun of the slow kids. So, that's kind of why we bring him in. He kind of feels like one of the grown folks. So, yeah, I'd take you, dude. You're good people. Plus, you got a good sense of humor. You roll with our punches quite nicely. So that always makes me laugh and makes everybody here. Let's go and change the names on the banner. Unlike last week, when we were doing it on Sunday or Saturday, I literally kept the banner that said Paige Van Zandt for 3 fights in the main card. And I felt so mad at myself. Like, producer version of me was irate later that night. And honestly, it matters to nobody else except me. So, I see these hearts coming. You guys got to keep these things up. That's how I know. All right. Here's what I'm saying to you guys. I heard a note right now. A little birdie says he believes that he's in. Maybe he is. He might be in the other room, which leads me to believe maybe I signed into the wrong room. Go to the other room. If that's the case, we're probably going to be closing up shop here, and I would highly encourage you guys to go check us out on the other telecast. So it is at Grappling Hour on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope, or Twitter, whatever works. I don't know your preference. I'm not going to pretend like I do, but we have a lot of people that will be watching on those channels. And for that, I just hope that you guys stay with us. We're going to be doing this all night long. So we're doing it throughout the entire telecast. If you guys got questions, comments, hints, concerns, allegations, hit me up all over in the chat sections, because that, my friends, is how we keep this beast going. Gabe says, I got you. Rather admirable that you're working with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I mean, we're not heartless. We just we do our best not to be a complete asshole every once in a while because it's just mean. The fight's about to start in just a second. I'm taking these last couple moments to go ahead and just do the last couple orders of business as we wait for a friend to go ahead and join us. Dane Donovan has given us a big haha, if you would, which we love. Also give us a like and a share and you get the cheers, but we love it when you see like the ha-has or the big hearts. Those are the ones that I think keep us in the algorithm on this one on Instagram. All the hearts that you give, I don't know what they do. I think they make Zuckerberg put this higher up on the thing. He runs that one too, right? I don't know his deal. That's a young man's thing. You kids with your Twitters and your Instagrammies. Oh, look at this. All right, so that means that this is going to end over here on our Instagram. I wish you guys continued blessings, etc. Go over, watch us on Grappling Hour on the other channels. It's going to be a fun time. I would tell you who the guest is, but you should just go find out. So go over at Grappling Hour, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, Twitter. Just don't show up right now, Stig Knowles. Go to at Grappling Hour, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope. The next fight's going to start anyway. Thank you guys very much. It's a great day for grappling. We'll see you over on the other side. Well, bam. All right. Before I put this man on, it's a good time to remind you guys, this is a gentleman that I think has one of the best elements of balance I've ever seen in any form of jiu-jitsu. He's a friend of the show. He's got a badass training gym that's called Strength Mobility. It's off of Roscoe, I believe, out in Canoga Park. There we go. Took a second. Yes, brain fart. 5 minutes on my clock. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show our good friend Sven Menson. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Dude, so do you have the fights up right now?
Yes.
Okay. Did you happen to see any of the other fights? I know you just walked in the door, so you I were doing other things. Okay. Let me give you a little bit of heads up. I do know some results. I know in the first fight, there was, that dude's doing a salsa step. This always makes me laugh. I see that in jiu-jitsu sometimes, but I think trying to do that in an actual cage fight makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, like he has that opening, that moment.
It makes me nervous. So there was an armbar and a rear naked choke earlier in the evening with two different people. And one of the fights that you just walked in, I guess, right before was a gentleman essentially was disqualified after not being able to stand up. Like they opened the cage door behind him and he just kind of like drunk girled his way back. And they were like, yeah, to be fair, he got hit with some elbows.
Oh, so he's on that takedown and then he was like going with the side elbow? Okay.
Yeah. So to be fair, it was, it was hard to watch because I'm just thinking like, I guess we should call this, but I just felt bad that he just falls out of the cage and part of my heart sank on that one.
That's right. Remember that Josh Barnett, was it Travis Brown, where he was like, that first came out for me anyway when I saw that.
Oh, bro, I was covering that fight. I was at that UFC.
Nice.
It was, I'll tell you this much, it was a rough night to go back to press row because at that time I don't want to say like we knew Josh Barnett personally, but it was so awkward to go backstage and like sit there and be like, is Josh okay? Like that was not good,
Yeah, because we see him all the time in his amateur MMA fights. He's always out here with his fighters in Southern California, sponsoring and coaching.
Which also is something you do. So you've got a handful of fighters that you are taking care of. I was assuming, a lot of the people may not know this about you, but in addition to your gym and your responsibilities with helping folks lose weight, stay in shape, increase their strength, their mobility, that's the name. You also do a whole bunch of fighters that you help out with and you corner as well.
Yeah, they're awesome. It's so fun. I've been fighting since I was 10, so I just keep the knowledge passed on,
I mean, dude, I would I would, if I was a fighter, I would take that. You know, there's a lot of stuff that you pass on that I think is really dope. So for me, very good stuff to see on that side. Now, when you are watching fights, do you normally have beer in hand? What is your fight ritual?
Yeah, I like to. Unless yeah, I like to.
Because the hard part for me is like I have to put into the fact that you eat well, you grill things nicely, and then you have beers. And I do that too, but I don't look like you. So I think whenever I see you do it, I always feel like, oh, right, he works it off. I think that's the secret.
Yeah, I try to outrun it,
All right. So do you know any of the fighters that are fighting tonight? Did you happen to take a look at any of the folks who are fighting on the card?
Yeah, and a few of those guys have been around a long time. You watched Tim Elliott fight DJ before, and he was in that Ultimate Fighter. And I haven't heard of Ike until a few weeks ago, until the lead up to this fight. But obviously, Calvin Kattar's been wrecking it. Damn, he just got finished like that. He was all over his back for a little bit.
Yep.
He was so sticky too. But
it's interesting because on this one, it's always very interesting to see how bendy they are when they have almost, especially the homeboy from Brazil, Ramos, has that capoeira kind of style to him where it looks like he could be very bendy,
Yeah.
But my God, congrats to Murphy on this one, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a principle, right? You don't give your back to your opponent. And for that half a second, he just turned and then, let me get those hips.
I mean, honestly, dude, I've been there with my jiu-jitsu where you kind of get a moment and you go, yeah, if I just give this up, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So you were coming from training the guys, I'm assuming, correct?
Yep. Yeah. Had a few guys working some striking today. Some on the bag, some on the pads.
Excellent, man. So let me ask this, because again, not a fighter. Do you get more hype training before a fight day, or does it happen the next day? Because I know from my singular perspective, I watch a fight night and I don't want to think like, man, put me in the cage. But my initial reaction is, oh shit, I want to go drill after I see something dope.
It's awesome when you see like good fights or like even wrestling heavy fights, and they're awesome. You'll see more people at wrestling on that Sunday, like, oh, did you guys see that? And like everyone's like training hard and like.
I mean, honestly, dude, I wake up after wrestling, or on wrestling days, I take a look around, and my first thought is, I'm not nearly as hype as I am now as I was last night at 10 p.m. So
I get going though, 30 minutes in, we're all.
Yeah, that's fine. I always know that like I gotta wind up a little bit before I get into my space. Like there are times when I go to that wrestling class and I just like get taken down, and I'll like stare at someone taking me down, like, oh, damn, I already got taken down, dude. That sucks.
Spell button wasn't clicking right.
Yeah, whoever's got me as their video game avatar is like really sorely disappointed. They're like, this is broken. Someone fix this. So you obviously, you talked about the main event. What do you know about Ryan Benoit?
On Wikipedia, he has won and lost his last few, like 7 fights. He's going win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. But it looked like a lot of those were decisions. There's some split decisions, wins and losses. So I looked up a highlight reel. I didn't see anything that I could really draw from, or nothing to familiarize myself, I guess,
Okay, now you're leading me down this path that's making me understand something. Did you do research before coming on the night?
Oh yeah, dude. Especially if I don't know the guys, it makes it more fun if I can get a little background or have a little invested into them. Like, oh, this guy's a karate guy or a kickboxer. Okay, I want to see some stand up, some long stuff.
Good on you. I mean, we have a normal roster of guys that usually come on this that are supposed to be pros, and they do very little research. So you have to forgive me if I'm slightly looking at you and going, "Damn, he's come prepared like I do." Like I usually have notes and things of this accord where I just kind of like remind myself throughout the evening. But I like people who come prepared. That makes me happy.
Yeah, this is your podcast. You're the man. I'm not going to disrespect that.
Please, dude. You know, honestly, the whole thing of this is just designed to have some fun. And, you know, as I was telling you like a couple days ago, for me, it's so major to have people experience something like this together when a lot of us can't get together in ways, given COVID and all these things. Like, you can't go to a bar and watch this.
No. Remember? You remember.
I'm going to go ahead and take a quick listen. I'll see if I can give a couple recaps of what Stanley Tucci, John Anik is saying right now. I'm pretty sure Senor is going to be very, very hype right now. Oh, you know what? Not listening to this dude. Rhone Murphy has a very thick accent that is coming through real in bunches here. He's just like,
I didn't hear it. What was it?
Oh, bro, he like the first moment they went to him, he's just kind of like, yeah, you know, so and then, what went out that way, and it was good. Yeah, I'll relax it. I'm like, nope, in out. Sorry, bro. UFC Fight Night coverage. Okay, so let's get to a bottom of the thing. I do have some depressing news in one way. I did put it out there to our good friend Michael Frosto. However, he is getting ready to go to Texas. He's going to be helping out with the jiu-jitsu overtime. So I was hoping to bring him on for a little bit.
That would have been awesome.
I mean, you know what's fun is you do one of these, and I remember the first time we did it with him, he reacted and went, "Oh, I love this, dude." Like, it's just fun because you do that. So with this gentleman, now that you kind of know the way that this game is played, we do a cheers, a toast to people who get finishes. We like to encourage folks who get finishes within regulations. So I'm going to lead this out. If you don't mind raising a quick little glass here. This one is going out to the man of the hour, one, Rhone Murphy. Man, I couldn't understand at all what you were saying in the post presser, but bless you. That was some amazing ground and pound right there. That man made one mistake, and you made every opportunity of it. I got to say, cheers to you on your great technique, great form, and being able to put him away and giving us a finish. Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers.
And that's basically it. That's how we cheers. We want to encourage fighters to get finishes because, you know, I mean, it's a hard beast to get a finish in a fight. You yourself have fought, and you would understand that well. But we like to make sure that people feel like their hard work is being acknowledged. Love it.
It's like Mike Perry when he was saying, like, my coach is telling me to get in there, and I'm like, he's gonna hit me. I mean, that's right. Finishes, you got to be like committed, right? Intent and action.
I mean, there's a lot that we all quote Mike Perry on, and there's a lot that we never quote Mike Perry on. But I do feel his responses on all things coaches should be a book into itself.
Yeah. It's so funny they were comparing the two of them and Diego Sanchez.
Oh my God, dude! So you're a coach. You have a good sense of humor about things as well. But like when you heard that he was going to bring his girlfriend as his corner and that was it, what was your thought process after hearing that?
All right, dude. So I go, if you at the end of the camp, you don't want to get the guys interested, you don't spar hard, right? Because all the work has been done. If you look at the career-wise, maybe all the work has been done, at least to be able to, in his eyes, beat Mickey Gall. And he's like, I'll just bring my girl with me. She'll get front row center, and I can beat this dude anyway without a camp. And then maybe he just showed us clips of her with the pads, but he was really going ham and had training partners in grappling and wrestling and striking. That's the most sense I can make of it.
Okay, no, I get you, and I know you're trying to make sense of his nonsense, which, by the way, I don't know if that makes us smarter or not, but do you feel as a coach maybe maybe just a little bit nervous that she has a better record than you as a coach?
Not even a little. Not even a little.
I mean, dude, she was perfect on that ice, man. She was giving the advice. She was perfect. She's like, "Hey, baby, how are you?" And he's just like, "Ice my hair." Now, again, maybe you can fill me in on this. You've been in there. You've done it. You've done that whole thing. Have you ever asked someone to ice your hair?
No, it wasn't even in my mind to think of that. I don't know. I couldn't.
Because when he told her that, all I could think of was, I was like, bro, do you just mean put it on your head? Because when he said hair, it makes me think that his frosted tips or something were bleeding, and he's like, oh, that'll soothe it. Thanks, babe. I'm going to remind everybody who is watching, if y'all do us a solid, if you give us a like and a share, we give you a cheers, just like we do with the fighters. You're going to hear me say that all night. But we love it when you give us a like or a thumbs up or one of those little Facebook emojis. But we truly love it if you give us a like and a share, and then we give you a proper toast. So that is what we've got going on. So let me ask this, dude.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get a feel of everybody during COVID. I have a spectacular interview with you that I have on hold because we keep getting pushed around on when gyms can open. So it's kind of worthless to say, go to this gym when, you know, all things considered in California. So that will come out later. But I've been curious, did you have some time off from jiu-jitsu?
Yes, but I'm rolling on the ball. My mind is always active in stuff like that. You know, I'm always messing someone up. I always got the back, you know, in passing. It's always something I think of, and I don't know, I'm getting my reps in one way or the other, you know? But yes, okay. There's nothing like rolls, you know? There's nothing ever going to beat that, ever.
So we were joking about this. You know, I realized because you were my first roll back, and you were my last roll before the COVID situation. So I have a couple questions for you. Okay, first question is, you would know best because you saw me on my first and my last rolls. Was there any noticeable difference with me?
No. I don't feel I felt like 100% RAF anyway yet. And we play between, like 40 to 80 or something. And so I feel like, we're always in that range. There's nothing. There's always good tension. I don't know. I feel like you've always been good.
Yeah, I guess. Well, that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is that to me in my head, it feels like, oh my God, I'm so like, I've lost 20%. I'm so slower than I even was slow before. So I was curious from an outside perspective, what that felt like. Okay, that's good to know. Let me ask this. How long were you off the mats though? Because I'm trying to paint a picture here for people who had to take time off from their own training. So how long was it between your sessions?
I would say a couple weeks. I mean, I got my brother-in-law who trains, wrestled in high school. Like I have family members who train this. My wife is sick at jiu-jitsu. So I got people that I can move with and roll with. And so yeah, no time off. I'm training.
Good for you, man. I mean, I knew that I knew that around like week 2, my brain was starting to melt a little bit. So I had a moment. So your wife trains, obviously she's awesome as well. But at any point when you aren't at the gym, are you like kind of like coming over and getting like a Kimura grip and being like, do you mind if I work this out real quick?
Yes, but not like all the time. But yeah, I'll sneak up behind her and just be like, shh.
Because I will say that is the hardest part on my side is my wife is very much a civilian. This is not anything that she does. So in some ways it's very peaceful because once I'm done with coverage and I'm done training, I have somebody who's by all intents and means normal. So I come home to, stepping away from that sort of a thing. On the negative side, when we didn't have any place to go to train, I kept looking at her and being like, I should really drill this. Like, I should really drill this back take. I should really this nice little hug I have on her and just take the arm and start isolating. So I have to work through that a lot.
Dude, I know you just say, babe, we're cuddling, and you're just working around the body, right? You're just going leg lock and then back to the waist and then up.
And it's tough because, I mean, the hardest part for me is I always feel like leg attacks and all that sort of stuff I have to do to somebody that I think is pretty good, because, you end up doing that shit to like a white belt, and then you feel a great sense of guilt that you go,
yeah.
oh no, I just heel hooked a white belt. Oh, I'm gonna hear about this. Oh, that's not good. Can I comment on something real quick? And I saw it when I saw it, which is almost immediately when you jumped on. But should we address the fact that we look similar right now?
Oh, we're gonna pretend we didn't text about the clothing. Okay. Well, yeah, no. Yeah, it's crazy. We look so similar. I didn't even know you were gonna wear that, Raph.
Because the worst part is I was like, I have to acknowledge this at some point. But when you came in with red shirt and hat, I go, oh, that can't be good. I will say, I did change hats before selecting on one, and the hat that I have was a green hat. So it really would have sold a lot more of us looking the same if I had gone with that choice. Fortunately, I saw this one, and for whatever reason, I was like, I should put this one on. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So thank God for that.
How do I get people to see this? If I could send a link or tell them to go to...
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you want to send them? We've got 4 different destinations it goes to.
Because I know Grappling Hours on Facebook. Can I just send them there? Grappling Hour on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can send you the link of the actual place in our chat. But it goes on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, which is Twitter, and on Twitch. So do you want me to send you like a Facebook one or a YouTube one? Whichever, because we basically, because it airs on all those different places, I kind of keep an eye on every one of those channels, because we get people who watch on fucking Periscope and I go, I don't know you.
He's like, TV sucks. I've watched Office way too much.
Like, bro, the worst part is we had people who they give a shit because they want to see a free video. So, well, they want to see the fights. So they read that it says watches, and they think that I'm gonna like turn it around, and then I'm just gonna hold my camera up like this and be like, yeah, he should have really gone with a 1-2 instead of a 1-2-1 1-2. That was really dumb. And I'm like, dude, I do these things, but I don't want to get my content pulled down. We work hard on these things. Yeah. And the last thing I need is for someone who sees this from the UFC, who we kind of do know people, who would go, what did you do? And channel delete. So here's what I'm going to do for you, man. I'm going to get you the Facebook link, and then that way people can chime in from that. But yeah, the good news about it is like we get people who are watching, and I sometimes don't even know what channel or method or means that I see them on. I just go, oh shit. Oh, well, cool. They were watching this. The last time, I think on Saturday, Milton happened to see me doing Instagram, because I was just solo on Saturday. And at one point he just hits me up and he goes, hey man, add me. And I'm like, I mean, I can. What do you want to do? What do you want to come on with? And he had some friends watching along at his house.
Oh, to impress them.
Well, it kind of reads like a, hey guys, look, I'm on Raph's show. But I was giving him shit because, afterwards he hits me up and he's like, bro, this is kind of fun, man. Like, I really dig this. And I go, it's contagious, dude. You do one of these because you just get hype. You're talking about fights. So it's not quite like an interview where people can get nervous in interviews and they might put their defenses up or whatever. This is like, hey man, I just asked you to bring a beer and just have some headphones and watch the fight, and then you're fine. And then you react the same way I do when some weird shit happens, because we're both like, oh no. Oh man. And on that one, I recognized, I think you might be a smidge ahead of me on the time. Uh-oh. So I'm going to have to figure something out to see if I've got something that
I'm good at hesitating. I will hesitate. I bet.
It's, you know what? I've learned a trick over the years, which is that I think that people like watching with a reaction if they know more than you, and I don't mind them knowing more than me, because then they know something weird is coming up, and then they're just waiting for me to kind of have a like delayed response and going like, oh my God, his arm is gone. So just sent you over on the Facebook. While you do that, I'm going to do a little reminder to the folks. Look at this, Nico Ruiz. So Nico, here's the thing, dude.
Oh, Nico.
I've got to do your sandwich now. There's another
the fried chicken sandwich.
Bro, I don't know how I haven't done it yet, and it bugs me. And there was another person out here that I saw with
because of the 2-hour line.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, dude, good for them, because a 2-hour line means business is booming.
And that thing is good, right? Yeah.
But I haven't had it, and all of these jerks, and let me be very clear about this, Nico. These jerks that are young kids that are in shape go work out, and they put photos of them eating the food, and fat guy over here is like, oh God, I'm trying to meal prep, bro. I can't eat that stuff right now. And I literally yell at every one of the guys every time they put it up. I'm like, put it away. Don't like block me from seeing this. Don't let me see that.
Yeah, I haven't had one either though. But
oh, you haven't had one either?
No, I pretended to see me. I was like, they're so good, but it was Loeb's or Frausto just said they're so good, man. So everyone talks about them.
Yeah, Frausto, I've made fun of a lot because I actually, you know what? If full disclosure, let me see if I can plug this in, because I think it'll give you a little bit of it'll give you a little bit of insight into what Frausto and I say to each other, I guess, when he and I have a moment. Because the good news about Frausto that I appreciate is, he's not afraid to eat. So he's a guy who would call me up and be like, hey, do you want lunch? I need food. And because I'm his fat friend, I'd just be like, yeah, I need food too. I always need food. So I don't know if you could see this. And Nico, I don't know if you're still around, but if you are, this gives you an idea as to how much I make fun of Frausto. And I really don't think he's actually this person, but just so you can understand, over here, this is a private message that I circled Frausto, actually just saying how much he likes this, that he's gone. He's in a different state, but he makes it a point to give it a heart. And I literally just sent him a note because it shows me that he liked it. And I just wrote #fat. And I just hope he understands that every time this man is looking at these posts from a different state, Frausto's just doing this. I just want to remember what it tastes like. So anyway, all right. Well, all right. I think this is the last fight. Let me just double check. Yes.
Is this Brett Johns? No.
So this one is John Phillips versus Khamzat Chimaev. I don't know how to say it.
This kid's like 6-0, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, here's what we need to tell people who are watching right now. If you are
Someone's
watching
getting
this,
slept.
That's your prediction right now?
Someone. These guys hit hard and swing hard.
Well, this is Khamzat's UFC debut, so it would be impressive for this young man to make a very big statement. And Adam Woods, I did not forget about your cheers. We will do that in a moment, but I want to go ahead and make something very clear. So what happens is we are going to end this telecast after this fight so that we have a brand new telecast that's just for the main event. So we're going to walk you through the end of this fight, and then we're going to reset so that we have an uninterrupted broadcast for the duration of the evening for the main telecast. So for those of you watching, once we get done with these fights and you see us cut it out, you're not going to be confused. That way you know ahead of time. But yeah, oh my God. I love – this is why I truly love StreamYard, is I can actually bring on things that I see on the internet as we're doing it live.
That's
but
pretty
nothing
crazy
is funnier to me than using it to show how fat Michael Frausto is. So anyway, I want to show you this before we go live on this fight, and I will bring it up in a second, but I want to show you how one of the fights earlier ended, and I just want to see what your reaction is. So if you're ready, I'm going to play it. I'm going to pull this up on the stream. Go ahead and give it a look in your browser. And here we go.
Nice armbar.
So let me just go ahead and say things, which is number one, thank you for doing a verbal tap. It's been a great week for us here on the show. But two, what make you of that armbar?
Pretty standard. Looked like it was from that side position, looking to hip in, did a good escape or tried to anyway to roll out of it. Looked like the leg fell over the head too. So she didn't have to switch to the triangle because she got to go belly down. And it must have been knees tight. I didn't get to see it well, but it must have been knees tight if that arm didn't get to wiggle enough to get out.
Absolutely. So I was pretty impressed, man. I just like that before I even got home, I had people sending me that one. And I just kind of looked at it and I go, okay, I'll get it. I'll get it. And I looked down and I was like, oh, fuck. That's pretty good. So yeah. I had a high appreciation for it. Before this fight starts, I'm going to do a quick little toast to our good friend, Adam Woods. Hey, Adam, thank you so much for sharing the broadcast over here. Your good friend, Adam, is essentially a guy who does what I do. He does, interviews. He doesn't do this. But, like, just short of this, he's a pretty cool guy. So, Adam, I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, sir. Cheers to you.
Cheers, Adam.
Adam's good people. He does tons of interviews and one of the nicest human beings out there on coverage. So, I always like to shoot him a nice little note, but he was very kind to give us a share on the telecast. So you said one of these guys is going to sleep. Now that they're both in the octagon,
they're tackling each other.
Who is it going to be?
I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know. I just know like the UFC was like, okay, you're 6-0. You're going to come into the UFC debut. Here's the guy who's a bit of a gatekeeper. You got to finish him to show us you're serious or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I like Chimaev on top right now, though. It looks like a pretty good position to pick someone who's going to win from.
Okay, so is that who you're going with?
All right, now I
am. So I'm looking at right now, my clock says 4:02. Where are you at?
4:15.
Okay, so I'm a little ahead of you. Haha. Now, no, so what's happening is I've gone to my cable provider, and instead of watching it on ESPN Plus, normally it's the opposite way. But let's talk a little bit about Chimaev now starting to attack the back, and he has to be very careful here because he might get dumped off, but he is slowing it down a little bit. He might lose the hooks, but in its place, he's coming in with a series of strikes to the head, which is opening the chin, and now he switches the arms back and forth. There's a little bit of swatting, and as weird and convoluted as this is, he isn't in 100% danger right now.
Dang.
This is an interesting aspect. Like, I feel like this is one of the hardest things to teach people, but I find that MMA fighters are so much better at controlling the back once you give them some direction in jiu-jitsu terms.
Oh, yeah. Like, yes.
So you're already seeing on my side right now, Phillips is bloodied. His arms are a little, I wouldn't say weak, but he's leaving himself open for a little bit of Chimaev to go ahead and get in some good strikes here. Now starting to cuff the arm. And, Chimaev is going to town with some of this dude. He's getting a fair share of strikes in on this. When you see somebody this dominant, are you ever asking him to maybe slow down? Like, what are you yelling at the corner at about this time?
You know, man, this is gonna get weird, but I do think that most of the work is done before the fight. I try not to over dictate. I try to let the fighters know, like, look, if you can't hear me, if something happens, you also have to be the one to make the ultimate decision. So I would definitely be saying stay on top, very basic stuff. And also this is dependent on the individual I'm coaching. Some people like a little more basic, more detailed, but Stay on top. You good. Position, pressure, right? Position, pressure. Don't wind up. Don't pull back. Don't give him space. That's about all of it.
No, I dig that. I mean, I've seen the way that you coach, and it is very intricate. There's a lot of good details that you put in there. So it's not like you just show up and go, "You're good. I'm just going to hang out here with a good seat."
You punch him in the face, and you don't get punched, okay?
Oh, man, there's a large part of me that wishes that's what you did, because I would love to see a very successful record of somebody who just goes, "Go do good." So I've got 107 here, and there's just been
119.
It has been a very consistent amount of control here by one Khamzat, who now is trying again on cranking a little bit of this neck, loses it, and now is going to go straight into hammer fists. I don't think the referee is necessarily looking to stop this, but I'm also not seeing a ton of fight back from one John Phillips out here. So it's not dicey or dire just yet, but it's been a continuous downslope for about a good 3 minutes here.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's crazy. Like, immediately in the fight, he just takes him down. Did he just know? He was like, I will smash this dude on the floor.
I think so. And I mean, maybe that your impulse of somebody's going to get slept here is that this dude's like, yes, but before that, I'm going to get a takedown and then sleep him once I've taken him down. It might take a bit, but it ain't going to happen.
They get him sleepy and then sleep him. I love it.
So we go to a second round, not to do any spoilers for you, Sven, over on your side. Dane Donovan asks, what will Chimaev look like if we see a round 3? Man, he is active. I'll go ahead and put that question over to you.
All right. That one's kind of easier to answer. Spin class is tough because you don't know what to expect. When you dictate the pace, you use a lot less energy because you don't have to overshoot or compensate for your output. If you don't know how tall the hill is, you're going to have to go a little bit harder, or maybe you don't go hard enough in the beginning. Then you're going to have to make it up. But if you know what to measure for, it's much more efficient energy-wise. And when you're on top, trust me, he is not as tired, no matter how much output he's given. And again, there's a spectrum there, but being the lead dog is way less tiring than having to get chased, especially when you're accumulating damage over the round.
I like that. See, this is why we bring you on. I like having this insight, sir, because you know what's funny is this, like, I throw a lot of insight, but mine is always just as a fight fan. I'm not out there coaching people regularly. So for me, getting this insight of somebody, oh my God, they have Vaselined him up as much as they possibly can. But it's like, it's essentially like putting together a Frankenstein and hoping for the best here, dude. Oh, a shot in and he gets it almost immediately. Not to spoil you from the future here, but I got a little bit of an announcement here. I think you already knew that was going to happen, Sven.
I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Bro, for a split second, though, and I think it's going to happen almost as I say this on your feed, but for a split second, it almost looked like he was looking at like the back as almost to kind of like pull some 10p for L on this man to go and break them down from the truck.
And again, to that same cage side, using the cage and the floor well, like pressuring down into both of them, not into one or the other, but into both.
What's really now, I think, a little bit more apparent is that now he's actually using a little bit more of awareness of where he is. He was using a little bit of like knee on belly kind of a pressure, and he was continuing on to make things a little difficult. But I got some news for you. It's about to take a turn.
Damn, Dar's coming. Oh, that's done.
Yep.
Done. Yep. Nice.
Oh, man. Well, okay. Walk me through how you saw that Darce get done.
I don't know, man. Like when you want the single leg, you're reaching, and then as they sprawl, it extends you out further. So it gives you space to reach deeper around the arm and neck. And then once your hand you can see your hand, it's just that wrap up, grab that lat, right? And then he gets that leg over and he's collapsing his world. He's not only collapsing his throat, shoulder into the other side of the neck, but he's also collapsing his hips into his head. He's collapsing his whole world.
This is honestly one of the first moves I remembered kind of learning in jiu-jitsu. And I think one thing that always stuck with me, even though the Dars kind of like fell away from me for a little bit, but the dump that you do to control.
From the Japanese?
Yes. Like, dude, I swear to God, when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at the beginning of jiu-jitsu, that thing saved my life a number of times because I didn't know how to beat somebody if they were just a little bit rowdy. I didn't know how to beat somebody when I couldn't contain them and I didn't have wrestling to stop if they were going to try and reshoot on something. But that little dump would always give me like an extra like 20 seconds of like, wait, okay, hold on. I think I can do something from here. Let me figure this out. And I wouldn't always get a submission, but I was so grateful to it. And every once in a while it comes back. Do you have moves that just kind of go away for a while and then magically reappear?
For sure. But I think that's good, right? You want to improve on things and you see things come up like in fights. Like sometimes you'll see fights the night before and you're like, okay, I'm going to go for that tomorrow for sure.
I always tell people there's things that I've done maybe 3 years ago that just weren't there that magically avail themselves after a certain amount of time. It's not like I did anything new to it, but then the reps that I put in 3 years ago pay off sometimes when you least expect it. And that's why I never get fully discouraged when I don't have something. I just go, all right, we'll put in a bookmark here.
Look back.
Well,
it actually happened with me with leg locks.
Really?
Well, because I didn't know, like as a white blue, but whatever. You just grab the leg and you're like, I'm gonna pull it. I don't know, you know. Then you learn like control the hip and the thigh and like knee squeezing. Oh, it's ridiculous.
So I should probably say this. I'll be fully forthcoming in this. So I will 100% message Sven because Sven doesn't get he doesn't get phased. Like I know I was giving TJ some shit, but I know you know that I'm in good nature with it. But when I'm like, yo, I'm gonna try and leg lock you, and you're like, please do. And there's nothing funnier to me than when I'm giving you shit about it, but then you get in a good position and this motherfucker is trying to toe hold me. And I was like, that's not gonna, no, we're not doing that right now. I said, I'm going to do it to you. And I think there was one time when you, I don't know that you had a good bite as much as I was pissed that it looked better than mine. And I was just like, ew, don't do a better toe hold than I have right now, you dick.
We're just hanging out.
I mean, yeah, it's still funny to me. So I just laugh my ass off. So right now we've got John Anik talking with Khamzat. This dude's. Oh, I like the fact that without really having a moment, they asked him, they're like, how do you feel? And he goes, amazing. But before John Anik could even fully get the question out, he was like, man, how are you? Amazing. So amazing. So good.
Probably can't feel better than that right there. That was a whooping on an experienced guy with 20 knockouts.
Bro, for real. And he's now talking about kilos, which I'm not going to translate. That's some weird foreign number. He says that he took, or John Anik is complimenting him, saying you took control of it early on. He says he was a tough guy. So he's basically saying he could do whatever he wanted to do, whether it was boxing or jiu-jitsu. Like nice. That, you know, my coach was basically telling me, this is your fight. So Anik is asking what it's like to defeat some undefeated fighters. Okay, I've seen enough from this kid. He's nice, but I've got nothing for him. So Sven, I'm going to let you take the reins on this one. We have to do cheers to accompany this young man's true achievement. So if you would do the honor, sir.
You wanted me to say the name. Okay. It's cheers out to Khamzat Chimaev for a beautiful recognition of what would work and then sticking to it, not getting crazy, not like, ooh, he's sleepy, I'm going to knock him out. Sticking to it. Beautiful job. Way to have good pressure and finish with that sub. Cheers.
See, look at this young man. I like that. Okay, so maybe I wouldn't say I did it on purpose to give you the harder name, but like I think you handled it. I think you did a good job. I have a belief on our show, on our podcast, which is If you don't know the name, just double down on it and just put all like 140% and just go. Like just commit to whatever you think it sounds like or that you think is funny. And we have a regular bit when we do fight picks. And part of the bit is I usually do a pun or a shitty way of saying their names. And without fail, almost 40% of our guests go, I think you said the name wrong. And they'll say it after like the fourth time. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. Like, did you just catch that now? So I always try to clue them in a little bit as we do these silly things. So it is my hope that we never get somebody who really fully gets really butthurt about it. But most people tend to be pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
What do I got for us right now? All right, we should do some closing business before we restart. So just to remind you guys how this works, we're going to close this broadcast, but we're going to make a new one. Facebook has a weird thing that only allows you to go for 4 hours at a time, and then it cuts whatever it is you do. Don't ask me. It's not my rule. However, we're going to be right back, which means don't go anywhere. Look at Grappling Hour. It's going to go live in probably about another 5 minutes or so, and then just hang out with us, watch the fights, enjoy yourself, throw some comments at us, ask Sven why he looks like a more in shape version of me, and all of those sorts of questions throughout the night. That's what we got going on. But before we close this broadcasting, the event somebody is just watching this one. Sven, tell us a little bit about your gym. Where is it? Where can people find it?
Yeah, we're in Canoga Park. We're on Roscoe and DeSoto. We're a strength and conditioning as well as a martial arts gym. I'm the head instructor for the MMA grappling program, as well as one of the instructors for our strength and conditioning floor. We, myself and the co-owner, have degrees in kinesiology, and we have the highest level strength and conditioning certification you can get, the NSCA CSCS, and that's a lot of letters, but just to let you know we know our stuff, and please come down. You'll have fun and get strong.
It's great stuff. Strength, mobility, that's what he does. That is the name of the gym. We're going to take a momentary break, but when we come back, we will have the full main card. We're going to have some fun, grab a beer. If you're not around and you don't like fun, I guess go somewhere else. But if you do want to hang around because you enjoy laughs, you enjoy good analysis, stick around. My name is Rafa Esparza. It's a great day for grappling. We'll see you back in a second.